Good afternoon, class. So, in the previous class, we have discussed what is file, why we need file, and what are the different access methods of file. Okay, Hmm, and what are the process of what are the mode of processing a file. Today, we will discuss the operations that are performed on file. Uh, by now, you must have understand that file is required to store data so that we can access it and use it later on when it's required. Okay, so the operation in the file that you can perform are input and output. What is input? When you want to change add some changes into the file, that is input. And what is output? When you want to read the file, that is output. But in case of file operation, we don't name it as input and output. What we name is as like read and write. When we say read operation, that means I am it is output operation. Okay, that means I'm just reading it. Output means you're just reading it. And what is write operation? It is input operation when you're writing something or making some changes in the existing file. Okay, so see here, these are the different file operations that can be performed. What is read only mode? What is read only mode? Read only mode means the file that you are accessing right now, you can only read. That means you cannot make any changes into the file, like PDF, right? In PDF you can only read whatever is written in the file, but you cannot make any changes. Then comes write only mode. Write only mode means when you want to make some changes into the existing file, but you don't care about reading what is inside the file. Like suppose few programmers are writing a program. Okay, now you have the right to add your part of it, right? Suppose you want to add something into the program, you can do it, but you cannot read what others are writing. Why? Because this is a secret place. Okay, nobody can see what others are writing. For example, like giving a vote. Okay, when you place a vote, you can place the vote. That means you can write your vote, but you cannot read what others are voting. So in that case, we use write only mode. Okay, then comes read and write mode. In read and write mode means you can both read and make some changes into the document at the same time, right? Like this, office word. Okay, like this doc file. See, I am reading here and I can also make some changes like hello, sorry, hello, right? I can do that. So this is my read and write mode file. Then comes the append file. So many a times we have seen that when you open a file, an existing file, and you start writing something, okay, and then if you press Ctrl S, what happens? Whatever change is there, it gets overwritten, right? Suppose if I change something here and I press Ctrl S or I save it, then whatever changes I have written, it will get overwritten over the existing uh, you know records. But what if we don't want that? What if we want that whatever change I am making right now, it should only get added to the existing file? In that case, we will use append mode. Okay, append means adding, not changing. Append means adding. Okay, so these are the different operations of a file. Next come updating a file. So see, file is not static. Okay, static means something which does not change, which stays as it is. But file is not static, and that is the only reason why we say file. If it was static, then it would have just been like a record keeping. We did not need computer for that. We could have you know. Pages and pages and copies, right, of things that are written and stored. But that is not the case in this scenario. Here we are doing updating, sorry, here we are keeping records in machine for one benefit, that is we can reuse it. We can change it and we can append it, we can add something, we can delete something, we can modify something whenever it is needed. So the file updation is actually a very important concept in file. Now, when we talk about file updation, there are actually three types of file that stays. One is master file. What is master file? A file that will never change. Okay, like a file over which you make the changes, but that file always remains. Okay. Another is transaction file. What is transaction file? The changes that are in the file which will be happening in the master file are called transaction file. And the last is error report file. Error report file shows any kind of error that may happen during, you know, all these changes and all. Now, so there are two types of file updation. One is called a sequential file update, another is called random file update. As we have already learned what is sequential. Sequential means one after another. In sequential file update, what happens is the bunch of changes are kept in a line, and this happens at a time, one after another. At a given interval of time, the changes starts taking place one after another. That is sequential file update. It will have two master file. One is known as old master file, another is new master file. See, if you see the diagram here, so this is one master file, that is old master file, and this is transaction file, which says the changes that will be added to the old master file. So this goes through this. Here some processing is done. Just a minute. Here some processing is done, and then we get the new master file. Okay, so the transaction file is added with the old master file, the processing is done, and what the outcome we get is new master file, which is stored again into the same place where the old master file was stored. The only thing that happens is this is overwritten by sorry, old master file is overwritten by new master file. And also you get a error report, right? To you know, to write down the error that may have occurred during this during these changes and updation. Then comes a random file update. What is random file update? Random file update means whenever a change is occurring, it is getting, it is happening in the file, it is getting updated in the file then and there only, right? So it's like talking over online. Whenever some changes occur, it will get updated then and then only. It will not wait, it will not collect all the changes and then wait at for a particular time and then will start doing the changes. No, it is not like that. Okay, so that is random file update. So that's all for files. In the next class, we will start with the new unit where we will discuss about programs and what are the algorithms, what is algorithm and etc. Okay, thank you class.